and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is someone who's stuck inside an elevator and surrounded by monsters. It's Zanandi Boetes.
Are you afraid of elevators? How do you feel about elevators?
I'm
Let's
cool
get
with
that
elevators.
question out of. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay. I
yeah.
have a little thing with since I was little. I have a little. I think it's a claustrophobia. First and foremost, and yeah, then like I started watching good old movies. And saw what could happen when an elevator just stops working and snaps and yeah. So elevators have always been a little bit terrifying for me.
I mean, like,
I would rather take the stairs. I opt for stairs. It's good for my heart rate.
and steps. I always take stairs for steps. I have my 10,000 a day
Exactly.
Fitbit, so I got to
It's
do
got
that.
to get those steps in. Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
I'm not gonna lie. Like when I hear a noise in an elevator, when there's a clong, cling, and you're like, oh, or if you have to use the restroom and you're on an elevator, you're like, please don't break down now. Like that's when I am a little worried. I'm like, that's the only time I ever think about it. But if I just casually go into an elevator, I'm like, it's cool. Like it's fine.
Have you ever been stuck in an elevator?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I'm
We'd
trying.
remember it, right?
You'd think, but I am getting older and my memories are starting to do weird things and it's freaking me out. But that's a different podcast episode. So.
Yeah. We'll talk about that during what is some reminiscence? I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, I do not want to cover that movie. No, thank you.
No,
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 no.
that's a memento. What's a tree of life?
Chill
There's a
life.
lot. That's all about memories and wisps of
Yeah.
memories and thinking and big picture. There he is. There, tree of life, and there's dinosaurs, so we're in luck there.
All the memories. Yeah.
Was it Jackass Forever when they play that memory song at the end by Weezer, and they go back and they show all the old Jackass stunts? It always gets me a little teary
Oh,
eyed watching young
yeah.
Jackassers because Ryan's done, Bam's in bad shape, Johnny has 45,000 concussions. So it's weird watching these people in 2001 who you liked now
Imagine
just
what their
beat up.
what their X-rays must look like. It's like scarred. Like they should, yeah, like with their X-rays up in a museum or something.
There's nothing inside your body right now.
Study these men.
I don't know what's in your body right now that's keeping you standing because
Yeah.
there's nothing left. You're just
It would be actually so funny. You do have like a virtual like gallery type of thing where it's an X-ray, and then like every break on a bone, then you can like click on it, and then the video clip plays of the time that he broke that bone.
that'd be amazing. You also have Evil Knievel's X-rays. You have what Ryan
Exactly.
Dunn's butt X-ray from Jackass.
That would actually be a fun like exhibit interactive piece thing.
Rugby players, hockey, famous rugby players, hockey
Yep.
play. Make it happen.
Make it
Zanani,
happen.
get on it.
Okay.
At
We're on
Cracked
it.
article, the 10 characters from movies that'll have the most interesting X-rays.
Yes. Oh gosh, that's great. I love it. Stealing that. Thanks, Mark.
So
I'll
today
buy you a beer.
we're talking about what elevator scenes. So the name of this episode is Bad Times at the Elevator.
Yeah.
So
Or bad times in
the
the L.
elevator.
Are we gonna? Yeah.
Which one do you like
The,
better? Bad Times at the Elevator or Bad Times in the elevator?
I just like bad times in the L.
Elevator or just Bad
Keep
Times
it
in the L?
short,
Oh,
and
bad
then
times.
like bad times in the L.
I
Sounds
mean,
like
I'm
a rap
crazy enough
song.
to
A
do that.
bad
So
rap song.
yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I can write bad rap songs too.
Yeah, that's another Cracked article. Yeah, worst Malibu's Most Wanted,
Then worst
Spring
rap songs
Breakers.
written by me.
Yeah, Spring Breakers got some bad ones by Alien. Oh my gosh.
I haven't watched Spring Breakers. Should I? Is it worth it? I
Yeah.
can't decide.
So I mean, listen, it's very Florida. It brings back memories of very bad nights. It hasn't
Well,
been
very
canceled
Florida.
yet. Like A24 is
You
still
have
celebrating
me.
it. You know what I
You
mean?
have
Like
me.
what?
You have me at it's very Florida.
Yeah, it's very Florida.
Sold. Yeah, I've read like a lot of people are like kind of over that movie or like it wasn't really enjoyable for them to watch. But
It's not
yeah, I
enjoyable.
don't Yeah.
Have you ever had a night, right? You're on a beach and then you get with some people and then you go to like the weirdest place ever. And then you're just like,
Oh
I want
yeah,
out of here.
sure,
Get me
for
out of
sure.
here. That's what this movie
Hmm.
is.
That's
And
like me at every party.
yeah, exactly. And so what the movie does, it kind of destroys the myth of spring breakers and like what the locals who take advantage of the spring breakers who come down. So I mean, there's an insane amount of
Um,
gratuitous shots of there's nudity
I've heard that
everywhere.
too. Yeah,
There's so you're kind of watching
a
this
lot
movie
of
about the
young
myth
tits.
of spring break being destroyed and how it's not glorious and how it's really empty. But then you're also getting just crotch shots of Selena Gomez, and so you're kind of like, this movie's
Mm,
exploitative, but it's also making a pretty good point about how spring break is just unhealthy, and then the people you meet there and the
yeah.
places you can go, and then it goes places. It's not an ABC movie. It's a very Harmony Korine type film. So for the experience and knowing that helped kicked off A24, it's a nice piece of history. And I think if you're from Florida, I'm from St. Pete where it takes place, and I recognize a lot of the people, so it's worth a watch.
I did not know it's the movie that kicked off I-24. So yeah, okay. Then I guess I have to watch it.
And I think it was one of
Cool.
the first ones that kind of put it on the radar. So
Is
it's
there an elevator in Spring Break that we're
no, there's
talking?
not. I mean, they're on the second floor sometimes, so that's
Okay,
good.
I'll watch it and then we can do an episode on it. Let's
Hey,
do that.
also I'm doing one next week, but
Oh, okay, cool. Cool,
yeah,
cool, cool.
yeah, with Joey Lewandowski from Too Fast, Too Forever. Where
Nice.
yeah, because
Joey.
Joey, I like him. He's a good dude. So yeah,
Nice.
let's we're talking elevators. So we're talking about
We're
scenes where bad
talking.
things happen in elevators. So do you want to go first?
That sounds a deal. I could. Well, since you said that I'm surrounded by monsters, I'll do my first one. Like the Deep Rising, fun little sequence in a very, probably the most cheeky elevator on our list, I'd say. I mean, like, screw the monster outside. The elevator is like the devil. It goes on an absolute fritz. And then it like has the audacity to play some elevator music. And by the time it crashes, it's like, okay, well, now we're out of service. I'm like, oh my gosh, this elevator is like the whole character. I love it.
Ah, there's a girl from
Famke, like,
Ipanema.
yeah, yeah. What the hell is that? Girl from Ipanema. I love that. I also love when Chet Williams is like, I heard you the first time after he kicks that guy. And
Oh,
Famke
right in the
just like
balls.
ever ready with her shoe.
Oh, when she hits Kevin J. O'Connor in the face, and she's like, I'm gonna. No one would notice if I broke the rest of your face, and he goes, "What is this about?" Like his reaction. Listen,
Exactly. Like,
Kevin J.
what is even
O'Connor
happening?
in Steven Summers movies is amazing. He's so funny in this movie, and the Wet Study thing, like you asshole. Like
Yeah.
it's
Oh, wow.
oh, what an
Yeah.
elevator scene, and no, I love it. And I listened to the commentary, and they just talked about how they just put the tiny thing on a gimbal and shook the camera and made the actors pull a Star Trek William Shatner and just shake themselves around. So Steven Summers had a good time just talking about watching Treat Williams throw himself all over the elevator and it wasn't even moving. But you guys, this is
Nice.
amazing. Like it starts on 6, right? And then it goes like 8, and then it goes to 6, and then it goes to S3.
I'm like, elevator, you have one job. That you say down and the thing goes up. You say up, it goes down. You say like, okay, just chill, and it starts playing this weird elevator music.
And then it goes into a blood hallway. So I love Deep Rising.
I watched it before we started the pod now, just because I wanted to. It's such a fantastic movie. It's so much fun. It's got a great pace. I actually like the pacing of it. It goes fast. It just goes there. Like in the first 5 minutes, oh, here's a giant torpedo. Like, love it. We've got the best jet ski action sequences. Like it's fan. Oh, I love that people are like rediscovering this movie again, because it's so much fun when it comes to like aquatic monster movies. This one's right up there, and it knows what it is, and everyone's having fun. It's like probably my favorite part of favorite movie Famke's done. Like it's just yeah,
How
it's
do you
fun.
like this got like a 32% on Rotten Tomatoes? And I don't want to complain about critics, but Megan saw the score when I was watching it and she went, What?
Yeah,
What? This
nah,
I think maybe people are movied out or monster movied out, but how do you watch this with the humor and the fun and the dumb and like just the fun, the jet skis and the Treat Williams of it all and West Study and
yeah.
the great cast, Jaimin Hunsu, money, 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 axe in the head. It's
Sometimes I honestly think critics should rather just stay with art movies and not crit any other type of movies.
hey, listen, it's not Jaws. And you're like, yeah, are you saying Deep Rising isn't Jaws? Well, yeah, what is? Get over. It's not Alien. Well, no shit. It's not
Okay.
Aliens. Well, what is? It's Deep Rising.
Deep Rising.
A jet ski drives through a cruise liner, and the guy's nailing door opening buttons with a shotgun. Like, come on
It's,
now.
it's absolutely incredible.
And a guy gets hit with a shoe. Perfect
I'm good
scene.
with this shit. It's wonderful.
And
Yeah.
since we're on monsters, right? I'm gonna go to Dawn of the Dead, 1978.
Nice.
Stephen's
Nice.
death.
Poor Stephen.
It's a
Poor,
rough
poor
death.
Stephen. It is. Like, I watched it actually a couple of times, that clip, that scene. Like, yeah, you feel for the guy. And then, like, even with like Peter, when he realizes, oh, Stephen's a goner, like, and he just sits there up in the vents and he's like having this moment of, it's so well done. Yeah, it's a great, 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 great scene, elevator scene.
That's why Romero's so good, is because they gave the
Oh,
moments for what Ken Foree just to sit there and worry about Steven. And Steven like gets bit in the leg, but then he fights them all back. And he
yeah,
does a good
listen,
job fighting, and
he
he
did.
kills some people. And then the shot of him coming out of the elevator and the shot of the zombies walking into the elevator, those are iconic. Those are amazing shots. And like the overhead, we love overhead shots. There's a beautiful
Oh,
overhead shot
yes.
of
Oh,
him
that's
being
right.
eaten. Like Romero just knows elevators, and just watching him trying to climb up after being shot by those stupid, I hate those stupid bikers. Just
Oh,
getting,
those bikers are the
oh,
worst.
I want to fist fight them. And so just watching the overhead shot and then seeing just the elevator closes, he's shot in the arm, and then he comes out and goes after him. It's just an
I know. Like, yeah, it's such a great scene. Then also like a kind of a bummer because, oh man, like, yeah, Dawn of the Dead, or as I like to refer to the movie as Mole People. It's, yeah, it's so fun. I love also like actually how the movie starts with all the chaos. Like Romero does
oh, the
that
apartment.
well. Like, yeah, even with the elevator scene, we all know that it's notoriously difficult to film in an elevator because you've got the wall thing happening. So it's tricky. Like, you've got trick walls and stuff that you put up like a lot of the times, or what, like, there's different ways people shoot it, but like, yeah, how you can like still show that chaos, in such a itty bitty little space. I love that. And Romero was good at it.
Oh, and quick note, we've already talked about Devil on the MFF podcast, so we're not going to be
That's
including
right.
it in this episode. But if you want to go
But we
back and
love it.
listen to it, it's such a good movie.
Yes,
Such a good
Devil
movie.
Forever. Devil Forever.
And
We love that movie. We
people are
made
getting
an
onto it.
entire episode.
Yeah.
Good, good. Love hearing that.
It made
I
decent
love it.
money. The critical score is not terrible, and people are just going. I think the whole M Night producing thing killed it, but it's just such a good movie. And so go listen to that episode,
Yeah,
full
and watch
episode.
Devil.
Yeah, it's such a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just felt I was like, should we like do a scene of Devil? But like, I mean, it's all the scenes in the elevator in Devil.
Yeah,
So just
it's an entire. It's scenes in movies, not it's not the best elevator scene in an elevator movie. It's the best elevator scene in a movie.
the best elevator movie.
Yeah, Devil's the best elevator movie.
Yeah, because I think, yeah, I mean, because most of the action plays out in the elevator. So I think that qualifies that. And someone mentioned the lift that I
Oh
haven't
yeah.
seen yet. I should
Of
still
course,
watch
Chris Kelly
that.
brought that up. I think Chris Kelly's like,
Ye-
yeah, he knows the evil.
Yes.
He knows the evil lawnmower movies. He knows the evil elevator movies. Yeah,
Nice. I
he
love
drops
it.
all those.
Yeah, so I have to watch the lift because that sounds interesting. Okay, next up, let's do Evil Dead Rise, the
Oh my
Blood
gosh.
Vader. The Blood Vader. So I actually like, I mean, we're going to talk about the big Blood Vader scene. I like the Wire one where she gets attacked with this thing. Like, when I watched the movie, that scene actually, I was tensed out because firstly we're in an elevator, so I was excited and also immediately scared. What is going to happen in this elevator? And then this thing that we can't see starts attacking her with these wires and rip and breaking her entire body. Listen, Alyssa Sutherland was such a fantastic casting.
Yeah.
I mean, she was so effective in this movie, just like her look and everything.
Great
Yeah,
look. And not like,
right,
I'm not saying great
right,
looking, like she had a very good
right.
look. Like,
Yes, exactly.
yeah.
Like it worked. She was scary. Just the way she sometimes like pulls her eyes, like, whoa, if I see that at night. Very effective. But yeah, like I loved that scene. And then of course we've got the big buckets of Evil Dead blood scene that ended in a little shining homage. I love that. So like yeah, they said like they use like almost what 6,500 liters of fake blood.
Wow.
But they yeah used for the movie, and it was yeah like a whole thing. They ended up actually using a tank with all the blood inside, and they lowered the elevator into the tank so that it just looked. And I mean, the look was great because they said if they were going to pump it, obviously you're going to have little bubbles and stuff happening, and it's going to look weird. So they just lowered this thing like, and it was a whole thing because the stuff was too cold. So they had to build an entire mechanism to pump hot water to get the blood to not be too cold because, like, people had to be dunked into it. Like, it was, yeah, like, imagine working on that. Okay, we need 6.5 thousand liters of blood, everybody.
Oh god. And I
They
like that.
actually had to get a commercial company to make it for them. Like, it says it wasn't like it's corn syrup, dyes, and water, but because it was like so much of it, I had to get a manufacturer to just
They're not getting
please
like you and me just to
movie
put a bunch
blood.
of Kool-Aid into a thing and then like some pineapple chunks, or like cherry
and, and
chunks.
and we'll have like a different color forever.
Exactly.
Just stain ourselves forever.
But I
Look
like
at
that Lily
this
Sullivan.
nail.
She said she had to like genuinely act in it. And I like that. They're dunking her in that. Like she had to
Yeah,
really be in it, which is pretty cool. And I
yeah,
love when they look at the weight limit of the blood. That's so ingenious. Like
right.
just knowing how many people can be on that elevator and knowing that that blood is going to make it fall, and then they're going to be in a blood elevator when it lands. And we knocked The Shining. We don't have to, we talked about The Shining during hotels. Now we don't have to talk about it during our elevator
Love it.
episode. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
and Lily
It's an
Sullivan's cool.
elevator vomiting blood. I love it. Like I saw someone describe it as an elevator vomiting blood. I
What do you think about Lily Sullivan in the scene?
mean, like the acting in general, I dug it.
She's
Like
cool.
everyone was, yeah, no, I was impressed with everyone because I mean it's all these fresh faces
Yeah.
and yeah, I was just really liking the casting. Like I liked the movie too. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It just like it almost got the kind of the same for me towards like, the middle part towards the end. So it kind of started actually losing me. I think when your stuff goes like too much too fast, then it kind of numbs me out almost. So like building up to a climax is kind of an important thing for me. Otherwise, you might lose me. But that's me. Like, I mean, I know other people want to be on that high all the time. But yeah, like the casting, the acting, I had no problem with that. They were all wonderful. They were wonderful to watch. Yeah, I actually wanted some more of the characters, but I mean, that's like wanting a different movie, I guess. Like,
Yeah, they don't go hard on the characters, the Evil Dead franchise.
no, no. Like, although I mean, like I did the Evil Dead 20 was it 2013? The
The
previous one
rehab
that
and
came out. Like I loved that one. That one was great. And like we did have a little bit more of a, character happening there. But I mean, that's it's the movie doesn't need it. That's not what Evil Dead is known for. So.
you make a great point about Lily though. I had never seen her in anything before, so I was able to buy her as the new Ash just fine. Like I
Yeah,
dug that.
absolutely.
That was cool.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked all of them. I thought it was great casting.
And I thought it was pretty interesting. He said that they didn't have to come back and do it again. Lee Cronin, the director, and they talked about he doesn't really like to use a lot of cameras, so he used 3 or 4 of them. So it's pretty interesting. They brought in the tank, they dunked it, they got special blood, they used 3 or 4 cameras. Like they put in a lot of work to make an elevator blood explosion, and so it has to make the list.
Yeah, exactly. And
Okay.
I mean, it genuinely freaked me out. It's the wire scene, especially the first one. The blood scene was just pretty cool.
Yeah, that sign note put the biggest smile on my face. I'm like, oh man, I like this. Okay, so I gotta follow that. I'm gonna go since we're talking about like Evil Dead. So we're doing Evil Dead Rise. I'll go to Resident Evil.
Oh
And
yes.
I love. Listen, I'm a huge Paul W.S. Anderson fan. I've been writing about him for years. I've been sticking up for the guy for years. And I think that this Resident Evil movie, I think it gets an unfair shake because it has a sense of humor. That Red Queen with the laser grid scene, where
100%.
like just like the laser grid scene that the queen's like, listen, I'm gonna do lines and then I'm just gonna do a grid and kill you. Like it's hilarious. And the dog scene where she escapes one dog and runs up on four. And then there's this scene with the elevator, like the Red Queen drops it and then lifts it back up. Like she's a jerk. And I dig this scene. And Paul W. Sanders said something hilarious during the commentary. He's like, okay, so this one was like really tough because like we had to do something really um technical. And the technical thing we did was just shake the camera to make the elevator seem like it was moving. And it just made me laugh how we built up to that. And
Super technical.
and they built miniatures for this scene. They had like 1/4 scale miniatures. And he talked about that the wire in the dust was CGI, but those are all miniatures, and the CGI was sparks. And they shot it on the third day of the shoot. And just I love how the elevator goes down and then up. It's just
Right?
such a
So cheeky.
for lack of a better term, head fake that it just makes me happy. Like it's
Yeah.
people being decapitated shouldn't make you happy, but this scene does, and I think it's all down to Paul W.S. Anderson just being funny. And I love the scene too of the elevator falling next to them. Remember the elevator falling, and everyone's like, "Ah!"
Yes.
Like
Yes.
that I love hearing that, and just I don't know what a good just I love it. I love this scene and the head fake. It goes down then up. It's beautiful.
Yeah, no, same. No, I'm also a fan. Like the movie too. I should actually watch Resident Evil again. It's been a while, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, again, thought it was hella fun.
Yeah. Michelle
And yeah,
Rodriguez, like it's 90 minutes, like just
exactly.
in and out.
Yeah, in and out. Yeah, no. Well, since yeah, like we're talking about people whose kappas got dictated,
Oh, are we going there? Oh yeah.
we're going there. Final
Oh,
Destination 2, The
uh,
Hook Man,
that scene hooks you.
Linda Boyd, shame her kappa got dictated. And yeah, I love also actually like after it happens, like Terrence C. Carson and John R. Taylor. Yeah, like that's the Hook Man, John R. Taylor. Like they absolutely lose it. That
Yeah.
poor man is both of them like are completely scarred, but it's like first she thinks, oh, the Hook Man is gonna kill her, and he kind of smells her hair. So it's like, who's this creep? What's he gonna do? And then shame, the poor guy actually just ends up so scarred because she lost her head.
Oh gosh. And he did that smell that was improv. He wasn't supposed to
Oh,
do that.
for
They were just sitting in there and
real?
the
I
guy just
didn't
leaned
know
forward and
that.
smelled her. So on the commentary, they
No.
talked about that. It makes me happy. And also they said Linda Boyd had to lay there for 2 days with her head stuck in an elevator, and they were fully prepared for her to complain, but she just loved it. She's like, this scene's amazing. So
Oh,
she was like really
wow.
happy to have her head knocked off in a movie. And so she just
Oh,
was
that's
all
so
about it.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, love her for that.
And
Nice. Yeah,
this
that's
is
good.
when they walk into the elevator with the hooks. And you know what? Aside from maybe Final Destination 5, well, I only think about the gymnastics scene in Final Destination 5, but in 2,
Yes.
you have the barbecue explosion, which is scary enough. You have the car, the logging trucks, and then you have the elevator. So I think pound for
And
pound.
the pigeon
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
like Linda's son at the dentist sequence, which is terrifying in itself because it's the freaking dentist.
Oh, yeah. You have the dead. It's pound for pound the most memorable, I think.
Yes.
But
I
the
did an
hooks,
article, exactly. The hook man. You got to
so
get hooks in
stupid.
there.
It's
And horror
funny.
tropes, you got to get hooks in there.
Yeah.
I did an article for Cracked about like the funniest kills in the franchise ranked. And like I made a comment that now the first one is actually pretty serious. There's the one gets hit by a bus out of nowhere. That's kind of like whoa, but that's more nervous laughter than anything. And then the actual funny gag happens in the end when you realize it's not over, like, but the first one isn't that funny. With the second one, they definitely ramped it up because, yeah, give the people what they want, give them these ridiculous kills, like, and you could see they were starting to have fun with it. Like, yeah, we're gonna make this totally ridiculous, and I love it. I mean, I'm very excited about the new one. I do hope they keep just with the ridiculousness of it all. We're going on a cruise ship, apparently. That looks
Oh,
like, I
yes.
mean, yes. Have you ever been? I've been on a cruise ship. I can so see a Final Destination playing out on a cruise
Oh, that's
ship.
amazing. Yeah, and
Uh,
like five, it
very,
ended so strong on five. And then you know what I like about two? It's not as cruel as three is, where the ladies get burnt inside of
oh,
the
yes.
tanning beds. Like that's the one of the
Stay
meanest
away
things.
from those standing beds, girls.
That was like one of the meanest. That just wasn't. It wasn't funny. It was like if you laugh at that scene, that was just a
Yeah, it
mean, and
was.
it was long, and they were naked, and you're like, this is like gratuitous, and these women are burning, and it's mean. Like I didn't enjoy that, but when you have a man with a hook hand smelling a woman and her head gets stuck in an elevator, it's kind of funny.
I think, yeah, like I think with the tanning bed thing, it's kind of low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Um, where yeah, like this hook thing. Okay, so how can we? So we want to do an elevator scene where someone's head gets decapitated. I guess that was like the initial idea. Okay, how are we going to do that? That is something that people won't even think about. Okay, let's have this hook man. Someone said something about hooks the other day. Let's like have these hooks and then it hooks her little braid.
Silly. The writers on the commentary, the writers when they came up with like, oh, there's a hook and they're gonna get stuck in it. They wrote all that, and then the producers or whatever, they're like, how do you guys plan on us shooting this? And like, I don't know, you're shooting it. Like that's what they said to him. Like it's so funny that they just wrote it and like, I don't know, you guys figure it out. It's our script. I
You
don't
feel,
know.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You
it
figure it out. I
makes me.
love
But
it.
yeah, what a scene! It's just
What I also love about that scene, that's actually the first scene of the second movie where, okay, so they're kind of figuring out this is how death works because like it's been explained to them. And it's the first time one of the characters actually realizes, because it's when I can't remember the dude's name, but when he sees the shadow of the hook man and he's like, is this anything? Is this anything?
yeah,
But then him knowing leads to the phone call telling the woman to freak out about a man with hooks, and she started freaking out. Like if she didn't, would that even have happened? Like it's so I love that little detail that's in there too. Like it goes back to that kind of destiny thing. Would it have happened if he didn't see the hook shadow and they didn't call Nora? It's yeah, fun.
yeah. Wait,
Mark, are you okay?
well, no,
Did I
you
just
broke me because did death make that setup so that they would call and tell her? Death
that's the
doesn't have that
thing.
control
That's
though, does it?
that's what you wonder. Like, I mean, because the movie like plays real fast and loose with that whole thing and like the concept of free will and whatever. But like because some people do cheat death, so there's always room for it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And who set that closet together? Remember the bowling
Yeah,
ball?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You got me
We
thinking
should
about that now because they call her and then she freaks out and dies because they saw the sign. If they hadn't seen the
exactly.
sign,
And
it would
didn't
be
tell her a man with hooks is gonna kill you.
I don't
I
know.
don't know. Maybe it still would have happened. I mean, she wouldn't have tried to run out of the elevator if her hair got stuck in the hook. She would have probably be like, oh, weird or something. I don't know.
Death. Like
We're gonna do a
Allie
Final
Larder,
Destination episode soon, so we'll
we
do it
covered the
and we'll talk.
franchise and we didn't even talk about this. Levin Good and I covered
Yes,
every
sir.
movie and we never considered that. All right. I need
Wow.
to think about this.
Enter Zaza.
All right. So I'm gonna do a scene where no one dies.
Okay, cool.
How do you feel
I
about that?
okay, yeah, I have one scene like that too. Cool,
I
cool,
got
cool,
North
cool.
by Northwest. And I had to do North by
Yes.
Northwest because I was thinking like we could talk about Deep Red with the amazing lift
Wow.
jewelry rip. We could talk
I
about
love how
Damien
it
too. Oh,
just
sorry.
like it just sorry just sticks with the what's it, the dark red, what's that
Deep Red.
movie? Deep Red. So I haven't watched it, but I saw the clip that you sent me. And I mean, I love that the camera just like hovers on those like pearl necklaces. It just like ends up hanging there. It's amazing. Like that's
But
so clever.
it's a good
It's
scene. She's not
effective.
really in it. And then you have Damien too, where a guy gets ripped in half. That's another good. That's another good one. But I was like, I got to get.
Yes.
I want to go a little older, so I went to 1959's North by Northwest. And you know what's interesting? So I was listening to the commentary for this, and Ernest Lehman, who has worked on the movie, he said that Carey didn't think the scene was funny, and he complained. He's like, Hitchcock messed it up. He's like, he didn't film it properly. And
What?
now, whenever you go through lists of elevators, it's one of the most classic. Like everyone talks about this scene because it's just funny. Like,
It
it's
is. It's so
imagine
funny.
imagine being Carrie, right? And you have two henchmen in there who are just messing with you, and your overbearing mother's in there who doesn't believe you, and your mother looks at henchmen like, you gentlemen aren't really trying to kill my son, are you? And everyone in the elevator starts laughing, and they are trying to
Everybody,
kill you.
like everybody. I'd be like, that is the worst place to be. Like, please, elevator, just fall right now and kill me. Like,
Oh, just my mom making fun of me in front of people and then me being laughed at. Like that's just
yeah. As an adult man with two people who are actually after your ass for some reason, you don't even know what's going on.
and then the
What a fun
overbearing mom.
concept. And the
I,
overbearing mom.
I and I think Hitchcock just loves shoving Cary Grant in places, right? So you have Rear Window where he's stuck in his apartment, and this one he's stuck in an elevator. I just think it's funny. I just like, you gentlemen aren't really trying to kill my son, are you? And then they just the two henchmen are perfect with their laughing and everyone. It's just a cheeky scene, but it's very uncomfortable. So I feel like it is a bad time in an L. In the
Oh, it's a
L.
bad time. No, it's definitely a bad time. For Cary Grant, it's a bad time. Like for
Yeah.
everyone else, it's apparently a laughing riot. But yeah, we empathize with them. We can imagine that that is a terrible time. That mother is hilarious, though. Oh gosh, I really enjoyed her. Like
Mother. Oh man. It's
she's
just,
just like, no, oh my gosh,
you gentlemen aren't
really,
trying to
right?
kill my son, are you? Oh man. What a line. And what a good L. I had to like, so I was thinking maybe the apartment, but that's not really terrible because there's a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
elevator stuff there.
Mm.
But yeah, so that's
No,
my
I like
scene.
this one. I
Yeah.
like this
Yeah.
one.
That's what I
And
had to
yeah,
add.
I love that like it's a funny Hitchcock movie. Because it's, I mean, it doesn't bill itself as a comedy, but it's because it's a spy thriller. But oh my gosh, it's also like there's a lot of comedy in it. Yeah, I had a great time watching it. It's a good one.
I like some Hitch. I got a box set of. They had a sale one time on like a Black Friday or something. I got the entire like a giant Blu-ray box set of Hitchcock movies for like $30.
Nice. Nice
So
one. It's a good collectible.
I paid dividends today. I need to watch Rope. But yeah. So what's your fourth
Oh,
pick? Are we there
ropes. Yeah,
already?
ropes great. Yeah, we're on the fourth one. Can you
Wow.
believe it? Are we? Yes. Okay. Also one where no one dies, but is a scary one that we had to include because it's so memorable is The Cabin in the Woods.
Cool.
I mean, I love that scene, like not only because like of the monster reveals, but the elevator is also like done in this cube style vibe. It's so cool. And I mean, okay, so yeah, first the monster reveals. We've got the werewolf, then we've got
Yeah.
the ghost that kind of sounds like a ghost from one of the 13 ghosts. Like
Yeah.
actually has the same kind of sound. And then the two-sided scare where Frank Kranz sees the ballerina with that gigantic mouth thing. Great makeup design.
Ballerina dentata.
Great. Yes, then Tata. Great makeup design. I love that. And Connolly sees the buzzsaw man, who actually the makeup artist, David Leroy Anderson, yeah, said, yeah, it was like a nod to Hellraiser. But like you said, they didn't have like Hellraiser pictures or anything even. They just all thought, okay, well, we remember Pinheads. Like, everyone has an image of Pinhead. So we just like got to go with it. And I mean, I love it. Like the guy who also plays the Buzzsaw Man, Gregory Zach. Yes, Gregory Zach. So good. Like they were like that. Actually, they had a bit of a mission casting his character. They say like his character was a bit of an issue, and the merman character monster was like the most challenging monster to create. But with Gregory, he was like the third guy or something to come in. And someone was like already there that they tested and they were like, okay, we're going to put some makeup on you. But they said Gregory walked in and everyone was immediately like, oh shit. Because the guy just looks scary. Like he looks so like completely like, intimidating. And so Anderson, makeup dude, he was like, yeah, he felt for the guy that was in makeup and stuff because it's like, yeah, you don't stand a chance. This guy he just looks menacing. And he was great. He had this intensity about him.
And
The
empathy.
Buzzsaw, exactly. There was something there, but I think it might have been Connolly who got so emotional because she started getting it. But yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, the way he kind of looked at her, like when she was like having her breakdown, I love, yeah, the Buzzsaw Man is one of my favorites of the
So cool.
monsters.
Joss Whedon
Very
and Drew
memorable.
Goddard said that he would be invited to Pinhead's Fourth of July barbecue,
Yes,
and
that's right.
I think I love what they said. Like he's like, this is our not in Kansas scene anymore, and it moves him into like it seamlessly moves him into a new act too. It becomes a brand new act
100%.
after
Everything
that scene.
changes. It's like a new world.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
and I like what they kind of wanted to avoid doing a lot of horror staples, but they just love Pinhead so much that they did it, and it just
You
I'm
gotta
not.
do werewolf. You gotta do. I mean, I think like they did like paid homage to like all the stuff that you kind of expect, but then I mean I had fun with shit like the merman.
Oh God,
That gag was just amazing.
I had to figure out how far the merman traveled from the elevator to kill the guy. I remember I did the distance. Yeah, I
No,
have
for
that data. I
real.
have that data post somewhere, so I
I love
figured
it.
that out. And I love when what David Leroy walked up to Drew and was like, "Would it be okay if I put a blowhole on the merman?" He's like, "Yeah, it's totally fine. Put a blowhole on the merman." But yeah,
Absolutely, yes.
and like Goddard said, it was one of his dreams to just give direction to a werewolf. Okay, bite harder, like move faster. Like he's got to direct a werewolf, and he was very happy. And
Nice. Dream come true.
and also they brought the zombies out first to make that more palatable, so that when you go crazy, like it slowly goes crazier and crazier. It's like when you what is that thing that they did it with Annihilation where you start slowly making the water hotter and hotter and hotter so you don't realize when it starts boiling. Like that's kind
Yes.
of what this movie just kind of paces along, and I dig how it gets crazier and crazier. Oh, it's such a good scene.
100%. It is. And a good
Oh,
movie still.
oh yeah, no, I dig it. It was in 2015. I was like the first big hit for me. So I feel like I have a Cabin in the Woods a big debt. If you go on their Facebook page, you'll see my article. They so I did this post where I figured out what's the best 21st century horror film by combining all the like major IMDb, Metacritic, all the scores, and which one had the highest score. Then I did a poll that got thousands of votes because of the AV Club, and Cabin in the Woods won. And Cabin in the Woods Facebook page shared my article in 2015. That was my first big hit as a
Oh, that's
writer.
cool. That's so cool.
Whenever I see Cabin in the
Nice.
Woods,
Thanks, Cabin in the Woods.
I always think
Hell yeah.
positive, love it. And
That's a good
okay,
one.
so we got Cabin. I'm gonna go with Old Boy next.
Yes. Yes.
2003, a movie that elevators are very important in this movie. So there's that
Yeah.
scene where Ode Sue's in the elevator looking at the woman freaking out. At the end, they go up to the penthouse in the elevator, and then Lee Woo Jin shoots himself in the elevator at the end.
Yeah.
But the elevator
Yeah.
scene we're talking about is during a beautiful hallway fight,
The
one of the
cheeky
greatest hallway
one.
fights of all time.
Yeah. Very good.
When he beats up all the guards, and then after he's done with them, he's just beaten, he's bloodied, and then the elevator opens up with a bunch of more henchmen, and then we cut to a wide shot with Odesu just walking out of the elevator, and they all fall out. So you don't see
Yeah.
what's in there. You don't get a Captain America Winter Soldier fight scene. You
You
don't
just know
get
you went in there and he annihilated.
Moran 2 fight scene. You don't get an Eat Man 3 fight scene. It's left to your imagination. They're in this tight box and he kills them all in between a couple of floors or beats them all up, knocks them all unconscious. And I kind of like the non-horror implied. And after that hallway fight, I don't even know if I'd want to watch an elevator fight.
Is what I was about to tell you because honestly, that hallway fight is fantastic. I love how they filmed it. I love that it goes on forever, but that makes it extremely exhausting to watch at the same time. Like, I'm always so tired after watching that scene. So yes, thank you for not like showing me another big one immediately and just do a little joke gag of these guys falling out of the elevator because he clearly killed all of them inside of that thing. I mean, we don't know how many like how many levels he went up, but yeah, it had to be a quick one. Like elevators aren't that slow.
Imagine being a henchman
He
getting
was just
killed.
a beast.
Ugh, dying in that in a close quarters by Ode Sue would be horrifying.
I mean,
I
yeah,
watched
I love the gag. I love it. It's cheeky.
Florida State 2004. My buddy Kahuna came up to me. He was like, Mark, I got a movie for you. I'm like, oh, cool. Because he used to show like Layer Cake and he used to show me really cool movies. I don't know how I got a hold of him, but he got a hold of like really cool movies. And so I went and watched Old Boy with him. And I went, oh man, not oh boy. But I went, oh yeah, like this is it. Like this is it. This movie's great. And that was my introduction to Korean cinema back 20
Nice.
years ago.
Oh
No,
wow.
19 years ago, probably. Because it got released in '03. So yeah, I got because we watched it on disc. So yeah, almost 20 years ago. That was my introduction to
Wow.
Korean cinema.
Nice. I actually watched Old Boy quite recently. I think my first Korean cinema was The Host. That was my introduction.
That's a good
Love The Host.
introduction.
And it's still, yeah, one of my favorites. One of my absolute favorites. Yeah, no, Old Boy was gnarly. What a character though. Like at the end of it, I was just like exhausted. Like this was really good, but I think I can sleep for a week now.
Yeah. Just the revenge plan is just so like that's like one of the longest revenge plans ever, and I love it.
Right? The
15
character
years.
himself. Oh my gosh.
But like it's kind of tragic because he and his sister, and then the guy told on him, and then the sister's like, no one will accept this, and it kind of makes it a tragedy a little bit. And it's
Oh, it is. But then at the same time, I also felt like they were all just being insufferable.
yeah. Just get over yourself.
Just please can you deal? Like
Oh, what are we almost done?
we're almost done. Yeah. Yep,
Oh
yep.
no.
Okay. So yeah, last
This is
one
moving
for
quick.
oof. Okay, yeah. My last one is a banger. It's like this might actually be one of my favorite film scenes of all time. Like this scene is just because of just how effective it is into switching gears and taking us into the final part of the movie and the devastation of it. And it's the elevator scene in Drive. It's
Mm.
so good.
You know how many essays there are about this scene? And
Right?
justifiably.
Exactly. Do you want to tell people about the sound stuff that we found?
Yeah. Like so I found an article and I read the entire thing. But
Yeah, it's so good.
I
We're
like what
sound nerds.
they're asking like what makes the elevator scene so effectively gross and so grossly effective. They're like, let's start with the squish. According to Mike Berger, a multiple Oscar-winning sound editor who now teaches at UC Berkeley, each violent impact is orchestrated like a musical chord. He said an editor might start with a thumping bass note. He says the sound of the 2x4. Wait, and then let's see. But I got another one. Okay, to depict the crushing of the skull, they used the
Yes.
slow down noise of cracking nuts. For the blood, they recorded the sloshing of a viscous liquid. But to complement those obvious sounds, as he calls them, the squishing and gushing and head crunching, Bender and his colleagues added another track of Ryan Gosling breathing and snorting and firing spittle. Not every
Yeah.
viewer will be aware of this additional noise, but it adds ferocity and intimacy to the scene. We tried to create the personal experience of killing someone. Of we tried to create the personal experience of killing someone, of going through the effort of doing it, says Bender. The elevator sequence benefits from another trick of sound editing in which a flash of quiet sets up an outburst of audible violence.
Yeah.
It just, he removed the elevator noise in the moments before the action begins. And this isn't even talking about the lighting, the slow motion, the scorpion, and a head being turned into nothing.
Into nothing.
And the
Like I read
elevator
that
shot, the parking garage wide shot. Oh, sorry.
was it that article or a different one where at the end they were like, yeah, we actually didn't need to see it. The sound was so set up well, we could hear the being squashed. We didn't need to see it. But I was like, of course we needed to see it. It was perfect. It was to like drive the horror of the moment home. I mean, if we didn't see that, I don't think we would have felt the same with Carrie, like, walking out and like staring at him in because she saw it. So of course, like yeah, show it to us too. I just it's really it's one of my favorite cinematic scene ever. It's from the moment they step into that. I mean, even the scene starts outside in the lobby, actually, or like, in the
Mm-hmm.
hallway, um, and then carries on into. But I mean, oh, it's
Yeah.
so good.
And
It's
listen,
so
is
good.
Nicholas Winden Refn? He's gonna show the head. Like he's not a
Yes.
subtle guy.
No.
You know, in this movie, the throats that get slit, the heads explode. Like it's
It's
just
violent.
muskmelons blowing up everywhere. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
not. He's gonna show the head. It
No,
doesn't
Refn's
matter.
going to show the head.
He's
And
gonna.
honestly, I do think we wouldn't have felt the same if he didn't.
You are one
I don't
hundred
think we
percent
would have.
correct.
I don't think we would have had that because it's a gut punch. It's an absolute. That scene is a gut punch. You feel when Gosling looks back at her after, like, he knows, and he looked
Uh
that
oh.
tragic, and she's just like, yeah, well, okay, I'm never going to be able to look at you the same way again, and he knows it, and because he just squashed someone's head in an elevator in front of her after kissing her passionately, madly,
Oh, in slow
by
motion, and
random guy's head.
he like pushes her away to protect her, kisses her, and then just
That also the
destroys.
light, how the lighting changes there when he like, oh, it's
Like
beautiful. Oh,
they're like in the elevator,
beautiful.
lighting is used to cast shadows over characters' faces. The lighting fades when the driver. So this is all from Slate and other articles that I found. This isn't me. I found great articles. But they're like in the
Yes.
elevator, lighting is used to cast shadow over the characters' faces. The lighting fades when the driver places his arm around Irene, which leaves the driver in the suit in the dark, while Irene's face is highlighted. The light unnaturally dims as the driver turns around and kisses Irene passionately. It looks like they're the only two people in the world. If in a matter of seconds the moment changes from something beautiful to brutal violence, the lighting restores as the moment shifts. What
No
a sensory
notes. 10 out of
experience!
10.
Yeah,
No notes. Exactly. What an absolute experience. And the
that and
best thing
Mandy.
about that is you can just watch that clip. You can just be in the movie again. It's extremely memorable too. Like anyone who's seen the movie, you can just tell them that elevator scene.
And just you know what I love too. They it's so unsubtle about showing us the scorpion, but you have to understand the fable to understand the scorpion and the frog. Like so, it's incredibly
Exactly.
unsubtle, but you also have to be in the know for it. And it's just a
It kind of works for me too, though, because it's back acting.
yeah. Oh, I
I
love back
love
acting.
back. I love back acting. It
Back acting's
worked.
great. All right. So I'm the last one. I got the last one here,
You get
and
the
I'm gonna
last
do
one, and it's a fun one.
a 2023 film, and it's just Megan, and it's our man Ronnie, and
Ronnie
a
Chang. We
glass
love
bottle and
ourselves
an
some Ronnie
assistant
Chang.
getting killed by an AI doll. And
That's
but I
right.
like this one though because I think it's pretty funny that the assistant Kurt tries to close the elevator when David's running. It's a different type of
Right?
horror than we've discovered. Like
Yeah. Yes.
it's like we have an innocent bystander in there. It's not really the action scene, and then the guy's running. And he actually tries to close it on him. We get
Yes.
a great gag about what kombucha dropping, and and then Megan wipes it out and then plans a murder suicide because Megan's a
Yep.
crazy smart AI.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Nah.
I wish I had
Yeah.
more for
Like
you, but it's just like it's a good sim, and the dance scene comes up right before it. It's just a good bit. It's a very good bit, and I like it.
it is, and I love the because yeah, she starts chasing Ronnie's character. I mean, I'm just gonna call him Ronnie because it's Ronnie. I love Ronnie Chang. Love
Everything
him.
sucks.
He's so hilarious. He's
Yeah,
got this thing where, like, I think with him, it's really it goes back to that whole thing of not the what the how, because it's how he says things. He's
yeah,
like so angry.
yeah. He's got a great cadence when you hear him.
Oh, he's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, she starts chasing him down those hallways. It's all like with the red velvets, like it's just this red scene. I mean, that was fun. I wouldn't have minded if they actually, made the chase scene a bit longer, almost like this mazy thing, like really amp it up. But I mean, that's not what it was going for. I'm just like, that felt like a little playground where I would probably have played more, But yeah, the elevator gag was just great, because Ronnie made it, but too late because the thing was like, yeah.
Oh, man. And also it's in the worst spot possible. It's at the end of a long, skinny hall. So
Yes.
the assistant's dead, Ronnie's dead, and then everyone sees it later. They see the blood explosion. This is a good bit, and it makes me happy. And it's a good dance scene. And we talk about
But
Ronnie.
and that AI, honestly, if we're gonna make like robots, don't make them fast. Because she went fast.
Give him like really long feet.
Or is Ronnie really slow?
Yeah. This, their feet are 2 feet long. So then when they try to run, it's just slap, slap. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way to
Yes,
run
yes, yes.
fast.
Exactly. Like when you've got flippers on. Just
Yeah,
have
put
your
flippers
robot
on
walk
them.
around in flippers.
Like,
Permanent flippers.
if you take them off,
That would be so annoying though.
and if
You just
you're
hear that from out.
if you take them off, there's a kill switch that, so it's like a safety protocol. They can't climb stairs
Exactly.
too easily.
Exactly.
Oh, I love it. All right, I have a crazy idea. Can you go along with me on this?
I'm scared, but
Let's
sure.
do a movies that start with D. One word title movies that start with D.
What?
Because of
Why?
Drive.
Because of Drive. Okay, I'll start Drive.
Okay, I'll take Dread. What are you gonna? So you can vote on this at Twitter, Movie Films. I'll probably have run it already, but go follow all the pages anyhow.
So I need to Google this, Mark. Give me a second. I mean, you can't just jump. This is it's
You just,
night over here.
I mean,
I'm
we have Dawn of
tired.
the, yeah.
It's Thursday.
I mean, we talked about Deep Red tonight. We talked about Dawn of the Dead. I have D on the brain. Oh, that
I
sounds
know it
bad.
has to be one word. That's a good one. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? I mean, there's a lot of
There's a, there's
with
a,
two.
there's a decent amount.
Okay, fine, Dunkirk.
Oh no.
Yeah, you want to play this game? I'll play this game.
All right, Devil.
Nice, of course. Why didn't I? I'm really tired, you
See,
guys.
and Dread. There's
Okay.
elevators too.
Oh wow, right. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of wonderful, wonderful. Why don't you actually like I'm Googling. Tell the people what the people on the movies, films, and flicks like they also mentioned a couple of cool ones.
Oh yeah. I'm glad I didn't forget that. So while you're searching, I will read this out. And I reached out on movies from the flicks and I asked about people's favorite elevator scenes. And the favorite elevator scenes that I got a lot of them. So this will be fun to read out.
Nice.
Let's see. I'm pulling them up right now. I put up the gif of Elf when he makes it look like a tree. So Jack
Yes,
Austin said Smoking Aces, which I love.
that's right.
Aaron
And
Newworth,
that's the one that started this episode.
That's right.
Yeah.
Aaron
Yeah.
Newworth had Mission Impossible when Emilio gets it. Tom
Yes.
Tresmer has the first 20 minutes or so of Speed, absolutely the best. Also, he loves in Die Hard when he chucks a C4 chair explosive down the elevator shaft. Nathan
Nice.
LaHaye says the elevator stare down in True Lies. He also talks about Evil Dead Rise. Christopher Kelly, The Lift. Nothing beats a horror flick about a possessed elevator. Nicholas Rehack, it says the Baxter, the very uncomfortable Baxter scene. John Wheeler, Johnny Numb says Silence of the Lambs, Dr. Lecter, comatose on top of the elevator. Jesse Deal, he went on a bit of a run. He wrote Droopy Dog in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, great elevator scene. But then he
Yes.
put Willy Wonka, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Total Recall, Driver, Being John Malkovich, Mallrats, 8 Man 3, Liar Liar. Baby Driver has a great elevator scene, by the way. The Secret of My Success from Ryan Groff. Mark Pazinelli says Devil. We have Mark Pazinelli again, Ghostbusters, when they turn on the proton pack for the first time. Lisa Skippin loves the beginning of Resident Evil, the first one. She read my mind. Lisa again says the end of Departed. Elizabeth Deal says Toy Story 2 with Buzz and Zurg. So we had a lot of people commenting
Love
and
it.
talking about their favorite elevator scenes.
That's
So
really
did
cool.
that give you time to think?
It did.
All right, what did you do?
I'm gonna go with Dracula.
Oh, crap. See, you rallied. That was good. So while I was reading that, I didn't even let's see. D. Oh,
Feel
okay.
it, Mark. Feels nice, doesn't it?
Oh, here we go. I'm rolling through. I love that I pitched something that I wasn't ready. Oh, Darkman.
I love it. Oh no! Oh, I'm jealous.
I mean, there's two words.
Good
It's
one.
one word. It's one word.
Dark Man, yeah, it's
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Oh.
Dogville. I'll go with Dogville. I dig
Oh,
Dogville.
I'll do
I'm not like,
Dogma.
oh, nice. Nice. Nice, nice, nice.
Okay.
I'm like looking for stuff that we might have missed because I mean there's like a lot. I
Yeah.
don't want to just go for the obvious stuff, which I feel I already did.
Yeah, we can't do Deep Rising or Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah, definitely the one where it makes it challenging, but I mean,
Thanks, Mark.
fine. Thanks, Mark. Okay, how many do I need? One, just
One
one more,
more.
right? You can cut this long pause out of the
Oh,
edit.
oh. Do you want me to Doom, Dune, Dope, Doubt,
Yeah, it's just meh,
Dream Girls,
meh.
Drive Again,
I have Drive. Can I use Drive twice?
Dumbo?
I saw Dumbo. It's a maybe. It's a maybe. Uh... There's actually a lot of movies that starts with D. Holy moly. Which I guess makes sense. It's not that weird.
Yeah, I narrow it down to one word, which doesn't really help us. Oh,
Okay.
Deliverance?
Yeah, I saw Deliverance, but no, I'll go with Dune. This is taking too long.
Which one?
The new one.
All right. So you have Drive, Dunkirk, Dracula, 1931, right? Dracula 1931.
Yes.
Okay. Dracula 1931, Dogzilla,
Dogville.
Dogville, and Dune. And I have Dread, Devil, Darkman, Dogma, Dope.
And you need the
Dr-
last one.
no, Dread.
Oh,
Oh, I picked
dope.
Dope. Yeah, Dope.
Dope. You picked
Yep.
up.
Dread,
Okay.
Devil, Darkman, Dogma, Dope.
I mean, I know I missed some good ones. I know this.
Let's see. Let's start Daredevil,
Yeah, the
Dirt.
Daredevil and Deadpool, but I don't really want to.
Mm.
Yeah, not really. Oh, Dolomite. That could have been a great one.
Oh, yeah.
1975. It's just Dolomite.
Do you want that one?
I do. I
All
do
right.
want
What do you want to
Dolomite.
lose?
Dune.
Dune.
Yeah, it's too big. Dune feels like a ringer, doesn't it?
Do I? Oh, Dread, Devil, Darkman, Dogma, Dope. I guess I don't really have too much of one. I have Dread though. People love Dread.
Yeah, people do love
People
Dread.
live that Dread life.
But people love Drive too.
Yeah, that's true.
It's either the Dread life or Drive life.
All right, where can people find you, Zanandi?
Behind them.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Inside an elevator. Been stuck here for so long. Someone please send help.
You got monsters next to you.
I'm
But you
on
have a trowel though, so you're good.
yeah, exactly. I'm on Twitter. I'm still calling it Twitter.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
Zanandi on Twitter. Yeah, check me out over there if you wanna.
Awesome. So yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah.
I'm the same. And yeah, no, we're all good. Everything's great. We're all good. All right. So
All
for me,
good.
Mark Hoffmeyer, versus Zanandi Boetes, this is the Movie Sons of Flicks. We'll see you next week.